Hello, Kindred. How are you this evening?
I guess it depends on how we made our escape.
Well, you remember from the note, there's at least 2 other locations that we can try catching folks at. Maybe, I don't know.
That was the truck that you needed to catch.
Oh yeah, no, I'm.
But that stuff is gone.
Yeah, and the helicopter sniper that killed our interrogating person. The words anyway. That's what blew it up.
You find yourselves on the way back to the car. The rain still pounding down all around you. The night moving on as the night is wont to do. The wreckage of the truck, the bodies behind you, and the bone collector having lost a little bit of himself and a little bit of control. The bone collector seems to be a little worse for the wear, and he seems to be struggling to walk.
I'm gonna go ahead and help him get to the car with the stuff that I pulled over from that girl in like my other hand. Get him to the car, but get him the passenger seat. I'm gonna drive.
I'm gonna be hovering as well until he's safely in the car, and then getting.
You get the bone collector to the back seat of the car. And the moment his butt touches the seat, he is out cold, snoring. We have somebody else in the car that is starting to stir a little bit, however. As Ottilie starts to wake up to the world around her, having no idea where she is, no idea what's going on, no idea why she's in a car. The last thing she remembered, she was at the house. The last thing she remembers was an explosion as a messenger car exploded in your new drive. Anyways, you wake up in the car. You see the bone collector being slid in beside you, and he's snoring. Outside the car, you see Valerie, you see Elizabeth, and you see Dee. And it is pouring rain. They look like they've taken a decent amount of damage. They look like they're hurting a little bit. Almost as if they've been in a fight. You can smell the scent of blood everywhere, and you can also smell the stench of death all over the 4 of them. And this is where we're going to open tonight.
So I take it, Val and I are both seeing Ottilie wake up as we're both helping Bones in the car.
You did it.
Okay. Oh. You are so lucky to have slept through this. How did you sleep all through all this?
Okay, in my defense, I am great at sleeping, but also, what did you do to Daddy?
Oh, we didn't do this.
Before we go any further, Ottilie, I need you to make me a rouse check, please.
Oh yeah, she's been asleep for a while.
7.
Congratulations, you do not rouse the beast.
She's a little snappish about telling you that we're not responsible for his injuries, but it's not like aimed at you specifically. She's just agitated.
helicopter might be coming back. Can we please get in the car and go?
Yep, make yourselves cozy. And I get into the driver's side.
I'm just gonna curl up close to him to keep him warm, even though it makes no difference.
I'm sitting next to, I'm assuming Ottilie's in the middle seat. I sit next to Ottilie, and I kind of, like, just lean over in my seat, just, like, needing the contact. Just lean over.
I'm gonna reach my arm back and just do the okay symbol.
Couple questions. Now, old enough, I don't care much about how humans are designed, but I do have, like, health knowledge vampirically. Like, can I assess if he's, like, just sleeping, recovering, and he's going to be okay, or do we need to get back to the house ASAP to do something about this?
Make me an intelligence and medicine roll, please.
I want to do the same. So you said that's medicine and intelligence?
Intelligence and medicine, yes.
Okay. So for non-hunger dice, I have a 5, an 8, another 8, 2, and an 8. So that's 3 successes and 2 fails. And then for the hunger dice, I have a 10 and a 6.
Okay, so we have... Wait, okay, so that's 2 9s. Oh no, wait, that's a 6. So 1 9, 2 6s, 2 7s, 1 7 is a hunger dice. And then the other 3 10s are hunger dice.
Someone's really cranky back there. Someone ain't having a great time.
So Valerie would be able to tell, and because of Elizabeth's medical knowledge, she'd probably be able to tell as well that he is literally just sleeping, almost as if he's exhausted. He expended a lot of energy. He was in a blind rage. He lost control. And because of that, he is now trying to recoup some of that energy, some of that stamina. The only way for him to do that is to fall asleep once he's no longer in imminent danger.
So there's nothing else we could do to, like, help him along, like, give him a little bit of a perk up or anything like that? Just let him sleep it off, basically?
You literally just have to let him deal with it, and there's a very good chance that he may not wake up until tomorrow evening. Which means you, at the moment, are going to have to protect him, or make sure he is out of the sun, because he cannot do that himself.
Okay.
If you choose. I mean, you could absolutely let him burn if you so chose, but I don't think he'd appreciate that.
I kind of don't have a choice.
Yeah, we're not burning Daddy. We don't burn Daddies. That we've already seen them turn to ash once. We don't need an instant replay.
I kind of literally don't have a choice.
For the record, that time wasn't our fault. That first time wasn't our fault. But we don't want that to happen again.
No, I don't recommend.
So that brings me to my next question. Because I have Bone Collector, Marley, and Elizabeth in the back seat, which leaves Dee and Valerie in the front seat. Who's driving?
Hey, I actually have driver's license, thank you.
I'm sure I'd figure it out eventually. We just haven't had time for lessons yet.
No, Dee would know how to drive in her human life as well.
You guys basically just let me know when you want to take off. Until then, it's open scene for you guys.
Go. Press on it and go. We need to...
Yeah, once
Get him
everyone
back
is
to-
buckled in, especially Val. Val, you buckled in?
It's kind of hard because she's sitting in a way so that she's looking at the Bone Collector in the back seat. So she's just kind of like... And eventually she gets it.
Yeah, eventually. But after that, turn on, make sure the key is in the ignition, turn on the car, and just do the best I can to drive off. I'm actually going to be keeping the lights off for the moment until we get far enough away, but I'll turn on my heightened senses, like my sight, to basically make sure I can still see in the dark-ish, if that's a thing.
And I'm doing the same on occasion, but to keep an eye out for that helicopter that almost killed us.
Valerie, that's going to be intelligence plus investigation for you. And Dee, you are driving, and you are driving without headlights, as the rain is pouring down all around you.
I'm going to be driving a little bit slower because of the rain.
In order to avoid detection. For you, that is going to be dexterity plus drive, please.
I'm gonna look out of my my window, just like longingly out my back window to do the same as Val, because I guess Val's looking out the other side for the helicopter. I'm also want to look out my side for the helicopter.
Intelligence plus investigation, please.
So for the non-hunger dice, we have 3 6s and a 10. And then for the hunger dice, we have 7, 8, and 2 1s.
So here's the thing. Bestial fail is only a bestial fail if the entire roll is a fail. And as far as I am concerned, you do not notice anything, but you are extremely hungry. You are just barely managing to hang on, and you are agitated, you are annoyed, you are upset. And it's almost like if one more thing goes wrong, you might just lose it.
So, my hunger dice, I have 2 hunger dice. That's a 10 and a 4. And then my non-hunger dice, which leaves me with 2, is a 5 and an 8.
You are going extremely slow. You are not covering a lot of ground. You do not have a lot of faith in your abilities at the moment, especially during this downpour. There are a few times where you think you might have lost control of the car and you just barely managed to get it back on the road.
Yeah, we're not faring much better. We have a 6, a 2, and an 8 for the regular dice, and then for hunger dice, we have a 4 and a 4.
Okay, you don't notice anything up the back window. All you see is road. You see forest, you see road. What is Ottilie doing at the moment, as everybody is just tense, agitated, hungry, and really just not in the mood for anything?
Ottilie is picking up on the fact that this is probably a bad situation. She is very much trying to like sit as close as possible to Bone Collector because obviously he seems the most hurt to her, and then she's just kind of looking around, but she's more snuggled like this, so she's like looking around the car like, what the fuck is happening? She's seeing people look out the windows and everyone's looking paranoid, and she's just like, I kind of want to ask, but I don't want to get snippety snapped at again, so I kind of don't want to ask, but I kind of want to ask. So she's gonna keep looking around awkwardly until something happens.
I was about to say, Elizabeth is gonna like turn and go, oh wait, you have absolutely no idea what's going on.
Yeah,
You just woke
no
up.
idea. Yeah.
Oh wait. Oh my god. So we woke up after something happened. and we all woke up not where we usually are. Sleeping in the new house. We weren't where we were... Anyway. Before we went to sleep, do you remember the car exploded?
Yeah.
Okay, that was a messenger from Father Douglas with a letter to us using our previous names saying that there was a clue to a cure on a truck headed down a highway. So when we couldn't get you up, and instead of just leaving you at home, which if you woke up alone, because also all of our humans are missing. We woke up and all of the humans were missing. We couldn't find any of them. So, we all got in the car, we put you in the back seat, all nice and cozy, and we came here. And, the truck exploded before we could really do much. Explosions are the theme, apparently. And, the one guy died in the explosion, but when we were interrogating the other person, their head got sniped, and there was no more head after that from the helicopter that we are now looking out for. And and I think you woke up when we all threw everything back into the car. Daddy Bones kind of went, complete beast mode on the girl in the truck, and I guess it wore him out completely.
Between the damage we took in the explosions and using his abilities, he's worn himself out. And now let's hope that we can get home safely.
Now we're going somewhere else?
Right now we have to get him somewhere safe. After that, we'll deal with the rest.
Okay. Well, I think I'm the most rested, so I volunteer for that one.
Good.
But I'm guessing we're still trying to find a helicopter? And that's why we're driving dangerously and slowly without headlight?
I'm just trying to get us away from the scene of events, as far away from that as possible right now. That's why the headlights are off. When we get to a safe enough distance, then I will turn on the headlights and try to drive more safely. But the rain is so that way we don't hydroplane.
I mean, at least you don't have to worry about dying in a car accident, right?
I'm still not going to risk that shit, especially since I don't know how many times we can get a new ride.
It was an immortality joke.
I am sorry. I'm not. I do not mean to be persnickety. We've had a rough night. We're good. You're good.
So where have you decided to head?
I'm just trying to get us back home.
Dexterity plus drive, please.
What is the extent of our injuries?
The same injuries that you took last game, because it's still same night.
I know, but I'm just kind of more asking the room, like, are we all okay? We're all alive, I think.
I'm fine. I'm hungry, but I'm fine.
Judging by that look on Dee's face, he might not be for much longer.
At least it's not my hunger dice. My hunger dice was at least a 5 and a 7, but my non-hunger dice was 2 1s.
I'm going to remind you of something here. You can spend 1 willpower point to reroll up to 3 non-hunger dice if you so choose. The trade-off is you take a point of superficial willpower damage, unless you have none left, in which case it's aggravated.
I want to get us home safely. I don't want us to run into any more bullshit tonight. I'll fucking do a willpower.
The other thing you can do is there's an ability you can use to channel your blood, I believe, to give yourself extra dice. it requires a rouse check. It should be in our rules channels. Blood search. You can use that to give yourself. So you can either, if you don't like those rolls, you can either spend a willpower to re-roll up to 3 non-hunger dice, which would give you 2 re-rolls, or you can rouse the beast and attempt to give yourself an extra, basically an extra dice for an extra roll.
I'll do the beast one. So rouse.
This is the funnest car ride of the season.
My rouse check was a 4. Alright, well, I got a 6 with that.
You are forcing your beast to help you in this case. You are channeling the power, the energy, and you are trying to take that and use that to help you drive, to concentrate better, to get you where you need to go. In this case, 2 successes for the moment. You are going to have to go extremely slowly or stop the car, your choice. And I'm talking like snail's pace slow.
Is that going to be while I keep the lights off, or can I determine while doing all of this where we're at to determine if we're at a safe enough distance to turn on the headlights and drive the rest as nothing happens?
I'm going to tell you right now that if you turn on the lights, your eyesight is going to get worse. You are built to rule the night. Your eyesight right now is the best it's going to get.
I'm gonna pay attention to the road for a little bit longer to see if I can find a safe enough parking spot to park off the road, or one of those another speed trap. With if Val wants to help point out a rest area, then I'll
You'd have to
stop at
ask
the
me
next rest
specifically
stop.
to look for something, because right now her head is pointed at the back, looking at the sky.
That's fair. Hey, Val.
Yeah?
Can you help me point out a rest stop area that I can look at for a bit? I'm not doing too well right now.
Fine.
Basically a safe spot to park for a moment.
Alright. She's reluctant, but she does it because she doesn't want to crash right now.
That'll be intelligence plus investigation, please.
And then I'm gonna look up something real quick. I might be able to help you once we've stopped. Okay, so hunger dice, we have 2 10s and 2 6s. And then a 6, 2 7s, a 5, and a 2.
You do manage to find a place eventually. It takes about an hour to an hour and a half.
Well, I'm going park.
You pull over the car. You do manage to find a place, so you take the car, you pull in, and you do pull over, and you bring the car to a stop.
Alright, shutting off the car and just gonna lean back in the driver's seat and close my eyes for a moment to just breathe and calm the fuck down.
You pull the car into this rest area. You shut the car off. What are you doing?
I'm just leaning back into the passenger seat and trying to breathe and calm the fuck down.
You mean the driver's seat?
Yeah, I'm still in the driver's seat.
You lean back into the driver's seat. You try to calm yourself down a little bit.
I'm gonna look around after a moment outside, look out the windows of the car and look around at this area that I'm parked at. What does this rest stop or parking area look like? And are there any other cars around us?
From what you can see, there are no other cars around you here. It's literally just a gravel turnout from the main road that you were on, with a couple of garbage cans that look like they might be serviced by the national park workers of the area.
I'm
Dee,
Do we know where we're going?
Dee, do you want me to drive?
Possibly. I'm just trying to get us back home at this point.
I can
Unless you
take
guys
over
have-
if...
Yeah, that might be a good idea. Unless you guys have other ideas as to where to go.
I'm just wondering if anyone knows where we're going.
Well, originally we were trying to meet up with people for a pickup, but that went to shit in a handbasket. So I'm just trying to get home. At least I was before I pulled off, because I am Liz and Dee will just drive her side door and get out.
Elizabeth will get up, kind of like give Dee like a pat on the shoulder as they like cross, and then get into the driver's seat.
Dee's actually just going to take a moment. Just let the rain pour down her face. And then, like, as she gets in, she'll like, dry herself off and whatnot. I'm sure she doesn't get the car too wet, but she probably would have taken a moment to let the rain fall on her. That's absolutely exhausting.
You pile back in the car.
My only idea at the moment is go home, drop off Bone Collector, and then try another plan or think of a new plan. That's the only idea I have right now other than texting Alice and trying to get some other help. Unless you guys have any other ideas. We need blood. We need baggies, we need something. We're all hungry and we're all hurt.
I'm sorry to have to remind you that baggies will do nothing for me. I am. They never did, but I am much past that point now.
I mean, we could always
Would-
go hunting for, like, deer or something like that, maybe. I don't know. Are we okay with having lions?
Would our blood help you at all? I'm willing to donate if that'll help.
Well, I'm on the page of getting Boat Collector somewhere safe. I can watch over him because I'm not injured or hungry. I'm okay to watch over him for now. Like, if y'all need to go do stuff, but we need to do it before the sun rises.
No, and I'm not interested in hunting until we've had him settled and we have a direction.
Yeah, we should head home.
Yeah.
Or at least head in the direction of home.
I mean, collectively, I've taken the least amount of damage. If you need something to tie you over, I don't mind. If you want to try, I promise I'm not a wafer.
I may have to take donations from each of you if this is the way you wish to go.
We don't really have much choice at the moment.
I will tell you that it would take several humans to do the job right now.
Yeah, maybe get the driver last.
Yeah, because I would need at least 2 full drained like a whoopee cushioned humans to get rid of these hunger points. So,
I mean, worst case scenario, I just fall asleep again, right? And we just have 2 snoring people in the back seat.
sure. I'm sure nothing could possibly go wrong. Since Ottilie is, in fact, not injured compared to the other 2, we're going to try a slight nibble test to see if we can get rid of some of these hunger points on the way home.
Before you do that, Ballard, I am going to get you to roll intelligence plus occult, please.
Yeah, good try.
The windshield wipers.
Wiper.
This is a nice car. I wish I had the need for heated seats, because this is great. The leather interior? Love it!
It's pretty comfy for a nap, too.
there a DVD player back there?
I could be watching
think it's one of
Blue
those.
right now.
You guys playing Shrek?
Yes, Valerie.
Okay. So we have out of the hunger die, we have a 10, an 8, and 2 7s. Then in the regular die, we have 3 other 10s, a 9, and then a 3 and a 5.
That is 10 successes. Whee! So I'm going to dump a bit of knowledge on you here. You would be old enough to know that if you drain them completely through a botched feeding, that is considered diablerie. And that is very heavily frowned upon, to the point where if the Camarilla find out, it's automatic final death for you. Usually. They are very strict about that. The other thing that you are old enough to know, if you feed off of these 3, much like it did with the bone collector in you, starts the creation of a blood bond, which can have unintended consequences. That being said, I will remind you that the choice is yours.
So there is one smart thing I did. I can't be blood bonded to.
It's not a blood bond for you, it's a blood bond for her. You feeding off of somebody else's blood, Ottilie, means you can't be bloodbound in that way. That means you can't be bloodbound to other people. But other people can still be bloodbound to you.
I taste absolutely delicious because it had a little thing in there that said I could sell my blood.
Okay, but I thought that after a while, if you don't consume the other person's blood, it, like, wears off.
Eventually it will, but until then, there could be unintended consequences.
Okay, but, like, this is better bonding than singing Kumbaya around the fire, so, like, I'm all for this.
I was like, oh my goodness, you might bark.
Like I said, ultimately, the choice is still yours.
Alright, so I'm doing the, like, arm leaned, like, no, I'm, like, half on, like, the armrest, like, one arm, like, driving.
I'm gonna wait. Just, we already have one kin down. I can't. If I kill one of you, that's kind of permanent. And I'm not really willing to chase our odds tonight. So I'm gonna wait a little.
I was going to say, well, would hunting a live animal like a deer or something and going on that help us at all? Or would that just be too gross for everybody?
I'm going to tell you right now, Valerie would also be old enough to know that when you play with me, unless you have specific perks, specific attributes, surviving off of animal blood is like surviving off of Twinkies. It ain't gonna do anything for you. With that decision having been made, Elizabeth, dexterity plus drive, please.
Okay. So both of them were a hunger dice, and it's an 8 and a 9.
You only have 2?
Yep.
Much like D, you are going at a snail's pace, and you almost lose the car a couple of times. And you are going extremely slowly with the rain. It is going to take you hours to get home at this point.
I think we're far enough to where you turn on the lights, the car lights. Just be careful when turning them on.
It has nothing to do with turning on the lights. It has to do with
It's
the
the
rain
rain.
and how slick the road is.
There.
We're just gonna take our time. I'm gonna, much like Dee did, do heightened senses into sight, just to help me with the road. And I'm just gonna say, look guys, we are in a literal downpour. It's gonna take us a while to get home, no matter what. So, let's just keep throwing ideas around while we wait to get home. Or if somebody wants to plug in on the aux cord, I am more than happy.
Well, the girls said they picked up this, whatever it is they picked up, at the church. I think that should be our next destination when we're done with this.
Depends on how close we are to the actual church itself, or if one is closer than the other, because I don't know how much time we have left till sunrise.
Oh, it wouldn't happen
It
to
was
us. We'd have to go back to Edmonton. We're like hours away.
You are in Jasper. The church is in Edmonton. Jasper to Edmonton is roughly about 4 hours, give or take.
We do not have that kind of time.
If you were to leave and head towards Edmonton right now, you would you'd probably have just enough time to find shelter before the sun rose. But that would leave no time for error.
9, remembering how far the incident was to where we actually were, which was at our new place, it's going to be quicker for us again.
Yep.
Also considering the fact Father Douglas is now in hiding, if we remember the letter, it would be more dangerous to him and us if we were to go anywhere near that church.
Ottilie. My dear. You are curled up against the bone collector. As you are curled up against him, you move ever so slightly. And one of the pockets on his shirt moves a little as you adjust yourself. It's a piece of paper in his pocket.
I'm gonna gently try and take it out. Because curiosity killed the corgi.
You take the paper out. You unfold it and you open it. And it seems to be the letter that they're talking about from Father Douglas, with rather atrocious grammar and spelling. As you're looking at it, you also notice some handwriting on the back. The bone collector's handwriting. And all it says is, go see Father Douglas.
Do we know where Father Douglas is at all?
Didn't the letter say that he might be in hiding, not that he was? And that if he wasn't there, he had to ask for Little John? Was that it?
The letter that you have on you says he went into hiding. However, the altered state of the letter is revealed with a source of heat.
So has anyone read it with me? Or do we need to find it?
No, we read it by the fire. I just unfortunately don't recall the altered version by heart.
So the letter said that if you needed to ask questions, it's best to do it in person. You know where to find him. Again,
That's
though,
our
that's
church.
gonna... Yeah, we're gonna be cutting it real close one time if we go down to church.
So, are we going to Edmonton?
I say we start the journey to finding Daddy Dougie. And we don't tell the bone collector that I picked his pocket.
I'm actually gonna agree with Ottilie on this one.
Alright, I'm going to look behind, look in front. Do I see any headlights? Is there anyone in front of me or behind me?
Not that you can tell.
Do I have to turn around to go to Edmonton, or can I'm trying to get directions on a fictional car. Okay, all right. So, hey guys,
I will pull up.
let's pull up the
directions
GPS.
to the church on my phone. Yeah.
All right, let's go. Let's go to Edmonton.
Excellent. Give me one sec. I will be right back, and we will continue the scene.
Edmonton by car.
Maybe on the way, send Alex a text and tell her that we ran into some troubles and that we are gonna need a place to like crash at, maybe, or in that,
Yeah.
what needs a pickup.
I will send that text. I will send that out.
Is there? No, I'm just thinking like if we parked the car in like an inconspicuous spot with like a tarp, would we be okay?
Maybe.
Okay, then let's go.
We don't have a tarp. We're gonna need to go into like an underground parking lot.
Yeah. So like
Unless we can break into the old apartment.
maybe. So like our sun thing, is it like we have to be in shade, or even like if the sun was up and it was like coming through like a white like window blind, we would still get burnt?
That one I'm not 100% on.
Okay.
Well, storyteller, that I can definitely ask her.
So what is this? Okay, so like can we just be in shade and be okay? Or is it like any form of sunlight? Like even like if there was like a closed blind and light was like a fabric like curtain, but like sun, like, you know what I'm trying to say. So do we have to be like completely out of the sun's like anything, or yeah?
So here's the thing about Kindred. Unless you have a certain set of abilities, the moment the sun reaches the horizon, 99% of them are out like a light.
Okay.
There are abilities that will allow you to stave off sleep once the sun comes across the horizon. And I believe there are abilities that allow you to walk in the daylight, but none of you possess that.
Okay.
So if we fell asleep in a room with that had say a big white curtain instead of an open window, would we still go poof if the light was filtered through a curtain? Or would it have to be a blackout curtain, otherwise we go poof?
So for something like that, you're going to have to find out. I will tell you that the thought of being in a room, open area like that, terrifies the shit out of you just for thinking it. Your beast cowers, it screams, and it does not like it.
I mean, there are underground parking lots, though.
You are heading to Edmonton. Is that tonight? Or are you waiting?
Well, we don't have to go right there. We could go home, drop off the bone collector in his sleepy quarters, take a nap ourselves, recover, and then head to Edmonton first thing.
That might be a better plan so that we have more time. And there is still a little window to get in and out in one night.
Exactly.
Yeah. And also it's pouring rain.
Dee is also in the process of sending text now.
So there are perks to each course of action. Staying here and heading out first thing means you actually are sure to get rest. You can actually mend some of your wounds, not all of them, but some of them, and then head out. The con to that is you don't know what time you're going to arrive. You don't know who's going to be available. You don't know what time of night it's going to be, right? And humans do have to sleep. The perk to heading out now is if you do it now, sure, you might not be assured that rest, but you would be able to head to the church literally first thing, as soon as the sun sets.
Oh, I'm just gonna fold up the paper back in his pocket.
You slip the paper back in his pocket. He just kind of and tries to roll over, but doesn't quite succeed.
I mean, it's, yeah, that or we drive right to the city and then, with the goal of finding a place to go down for the day and then going to the church first thing in the single store.
I mean, we can always get a hotel room too.
That is true.
You do have money. I specifically gave you guys money to spend on whatever you wanted. For those of you that haven't
right.
spent anything yet, you should each have $2,000 in your bank account. For those of you that have spent money, you have whatever is in your bank account minus whatever you've spent.
I'm gonna put it to a vote. I am for going to Edmonton now. Just driving right there now.
Same. Does anyone have any reason for us not to go?
Dee's gonna see if she can find, if she has enough network connection on her phone to see if there is a point where the weather pattern lightens up, coming down the mountain. Like heading into Edmonton, would there be like some sort of like meteorologist map to indicate where?
You can absolutely find a meteorological map, not a problem. There's several apps for it. Downloading one of them, you do take a look, and it appears that for the next several days, it is forecasted to rain in this entire area. As a matter of fact, it seems to be raining over a good chunk of the province.
I was just saying, including Edmonton, yeah?
Yes.
About the same amount of downpour as well, or does it look like it lightens up at certain points?
About the same. This weather system seems to be fairly large.
Well, like Ottilie said, unless anybody has any objections, we probably should just go ahead and go there now. It doesn't look like this rain is going to let up anytime soon either. And it looks like even when we get to Edmonton, the rain is going to be just the same.
Very well.
There we go. Come on, Wiper Plane. Get us there.
Alright. Pull up the GPS. Let's go.
I'm going to get one last Dex plus drive check from our driver.
We have a 10 and a 2.
Were both of those hunger?
Yep.
You feel the car starting to slip off the road.
Fuck.
You white knuckle the steering wheel as you start hydroplaning and move careening towards the edge of the road. There is no guardrail here. It's from the road into the forest. So, I'm going to give you a chance to let me know whether or not you would like to try to correct the situation or not.
Take your foot off the accelerator.
Yeah, obviously. A foot off the accelerator, just like holding on to, just letting the car roll. Because braking isn't going to make it any better. Trying to correct. We're going so slow to begin with. How the fuck are we hydroplaning?
Yeah.
Hydroplaning, slipping, whatever.
Yeah.
These roads are notoriously slick.
Okay.
Too slow, too fast are both ways to go hydroplaning.
Yeah. So, foot's off the accelerator. And car's out of control at this point, so that's as much course correcting as I can really do, other than trying to like hold the steering wheel to get it to stay in one direction and not off the road.
Reroll.
She can't re-roll those dice. They're both hunger dice. She can't re-roll those dice. They're both hunger dice.
That's right. Shit.
So hungry.
You can blood surge, though.
You're crashing.
Yeah, you can.
Only-
Surge.
There's blood surge and crashing. Those are the only two options.
Blood surge, damn it!
Okay, I am planning on blood surging.
Make me a rouse check, please.
8.
That is a success. You do not rouse the beast. Please roll your extra dice. You can put that in whatever stat you want, either your dex or your drive.
Gonna re-roll for drive.
Gonna roll for drive. Okay, this gives you one regular dice.
Mm-hmm. It's a 9!
That is a success. So now
Hell yeah.
I give you the option of letting things continue as they are. It's a fail. Or win at a cost. Because that is just enough for a win at a cost for me.
What's the cost?
The car, for about half an hour, comes to a dead halt as you fix one of your tires, which slipped just enough off the road and punctured. Luckily, there's a spare tire in the trunk, which you managed to get on. Not a problem. And as you move forward towards the city, we are going to bring this episode to a close.